Looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day. I woke up early this morning with blue on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day.
And a good morning to you. It is a terrific Thursday morning. That means my partner in crime, my co-host this morning, and we're in a couple of hats this morning. I have Autumn Hall from Celebrity Home Loans. Good morning, Autumn.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Hi, it is. It's Thursday.
It's Thursday. Absolutely. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Walmart, Meadowview Healthcare Center, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Celebrity Home Loans, Skyline Suites, Kentuckiana Cat and Core, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, and Fox Pearly Wealth Management. Dennis could not be with us this morning, but I'm sure he's listening somewhere and probably relaxing and listening to us. So good morning.
That's what I'm going with.
All right, make sure you get the microphone close to you, girl. I know that scary thing.
You know, usually people are like, okay, you need to tone it down on them. Like, I don't usually have people saying, pull the mic closer.
Okay. I have that too. Yeah, I have that too. Well, welcome back. You had a wonderful Christmas. You and your fam took off and went to a beautiful cabin.
We did. It was very nice.
Okay. I want to talk about it and the niceness, but I want to talk about the behind the scenes. That was a lot of work for you to pull all that together. I mean, well worth it, but
it was interesting. I kind of enjoy being in control.
Oh, I love that.
You know, so like being in the planning part of it, and actually Justin's the one who had the idea. Like, he kind of pitched it, and so I
love that.
Called everybody, and they were all on board. So, but yeah, as far as collecting the money and then deciding who's going to bring what and what are we going to eat and what are we going to, you know.
Well, and just trying to get everybody's so busy and work schedules are all different.
Yes.
Everybody's lifestyles are so different. I mean, that right there is an act to pull off. I mean, that is an accomplishment to get everybody together.
I'm thankful that my family likes it. Like, they like spending time together.
Yeah.
So I don't really have to pull too many teeth. Like,
love that.
Really, for the most part, everybody was on board.
Yeah.
They were just like, okay, yeah, just tell us when.
I love that.
So that wasn't really hard. That wasn't really hard for me.
Right.
Well,
that's good. And what a blessing. Yeah, my group's like that too. They like to get together too. But it is sometimes, you know, just from working around everyone's schedule, trying to.
Thankfully, they, like my sister-in-law and my niece, they were off that day.
Oh, that's a blessing, yeah.
So, yeah, it would have probably been a little bit harder if they had to work.
So you went to the cabin in the woods in Tennessee.
We did.
So how fun was it? Tell us, was it like waking up on Christmas morning? Was it?
So it was fun. We had a good time. We got there New Year or Christmas Eve. And Google lied. So
no.
Yeah, Google lied.
I find that hard to believe, Autumn.
Yes. Yeah, it's true though. So some of the places that were saying, oh, we're open, they were not open. So we were going to go eat at my brother and sister-in-law go down to Gatlinburg a couple of times, so they like it. They know some of the restaurants.
I think a lot of local people do.
The traffic there stresses me out.
It's a lot of traffic. It's very busy.
It is very busy, and it's very touristy. So we ended up ordering pizza Christmas Eve.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
None of the restaurants were open that we wanted to go to. And then we got up. Justin made biscuits and gravy on
Yum.
Christmas morning.
Oh, I
So
love
we
that.
did biscuits and gravy, and my dad made bacon on the grill.
Oh,
He
have
had to
mercy.
go grill it. That was fun.
Was it delicious? Was it crispy?
It was edible.
Oh, okay.
I kind of felt that he's usually, I mean, like, he's a great cook,
Mhm.
but the grill, it's a little trickier to cook it on a grill.
I don't think I've ever fixed bacon on the
So-
grill. Yeah, and I'll think about too all the grease and you know how like your,
Yeah, well,
the flame,
we found some flat metal, like aluminum.
aluminum foil. Mhm.
No, not
Or-
foil, just the, you know, the pan. You can get the pans, and then
Oh,
they have like
okay.
the aluminum that slides over
A little
them.
fancier than I'm used to. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Okay,
we found them,
okay,
so he was trying to cook it on that.
okay.
It
Well
was
played.
it was interesting.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was edible, and then we did eggs.
Huh.
So we had a good breakfast. We cleaned up, and then some of us went into town. So like we went into town. My nieces and nephew went in. We were going to go because you know in Pigeon Forge they have an indoor snow sledding,
Yeah. Mhm.
and it's a blast. Like so we were going to take the kids there. We got there and the line was out the door
Oh,
around the building.
everybody had the same idea.
Yeah, and so we were like, we're not doing that.
Plan B.
We're not doing that. So we did end up going. They have a hillside roller coaster.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So we took the kids there.
Oh, I bet they love that.
They did. They had fun.
I bet
But
they
then we're like driving around Pigeon Forge for 3 or 4 hours trying to find something to do
did.
that is not crazy crowded.
Yeah.
So that was not very fun. My
But
kids.
no, that roller coaster goes fast.
Yeah, it does. It does. And they enjoyed it.
I know, but like it doesn't look like there's a lot. I don't know.
Well, it goes back.
yeah.
So what
No, I
you
mean
see
it doesn't
from
look
the
like there's a
road-
lot of protection. That's what I meant. Like
Oh,
you're
no.
kind of there. Are you strapped in good?
You have a seatbelt.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. You have a
Oh well,
seatbelt.
then that's all you need, right? On
You just
have
have
a
a seatbelt.
seatbelt. No, I mean you know, it's like you're little on the edge when you're riding them down.
There were a couple
Yeah.
turns
Turns.
that was
I'm
a little
saying,
scary.
I've not
Yeah.
ridden it, but I have watched it, and we were going to do that. We just didn't have an opportunity to do that. But I'm just saying that
Yeah.
looks a little.
Well, you have the handbrakes, so like
Oh.
you control
Oh, I
your
did not.
speed.
Okay.
Yes.
So if
like,
you broke or brake too fast, would you go? Would the back end go?
no, it is on a cable,
Okay.
so it is kind of secure because
Okay.
when you go up the hill, like you don't touch it, it takes you on a conveyor
Oh,
belt.
okay. Okay.
And you have 4. They don't let you go too fast because you have 4 up and downs, so you have like 4
Okay.
checkpoints that
Okay.
kind of keep you in touch.
All right. That makes me feel a little
So
better. But
it was fun.
I've watched it from the side, you know, and I'm like, oh my, that yeah.
Yeah. And then, so we were going to have lunch out.
Mhm.
And my kids ended up with ramen noodles from the gas station.
Hey, not a bad, but gas station food and,
We went
and
to, like,
noodles. You can't go
4
wrong.
We went to like 4 or 5 restaurants that we thought were open.
Yeah.
Because there were cars parked and they were parked to go to like the go-karts or the,
Yeah.
so it was,
Well,
they got ramen noodles.
you know what? That's not bad though. You know what I mean?
They
And that's
love
something
ramen noodles.
well, you know what? My group does too. And,
And
there's
I
nothing
don't
wrong
get
with
them
that.
often. Like
There
I
you
don't
go.
buy them very
Yeah.
often. So it was a treat for them.
Yeah.
But at that point I was like, I don't care. Just
But
grab
you,
them.
but you think about it, you know what I mean? It's Christmas and you're sitting there eating warm soup and you know what I mean, and noodles and
I drain mine.
okay, well you're eating noodles.
They get noodles. But it's funny.
No broth, but noodles.
It's funny
Is that
the way
something?
that we
Okay,
do
that's
it.
hilarious. Does your kids say no broth?
No, I never ate them with broth. Like we
You never had, like,
always
a soup.
no. Now they were like chewy noodles that you choked on.
God, so do you break them up?
No.
Well, you have the long noodles.
Yeah, they have to learn.
So wait, I'm cracking up. That's hilarious. So, okay, because we keep the soup.
Well, so does my sister-in-law, and she actually cracks an egg in it. Like she makes it like this.
Oh, she's a little fancy.
Yeah, she was like, "What are you doing to these noodles?" And so like my nieces and nephew are there because it's the whole family.
Yeah.
And like even my niece walked in, she's like, why are you draining them? Like, what are you, like I'm committing a crime
No, I do
to
have
these noodles.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, this is how I've always made them. Like, I mean, I know it's been about 10 years since I've made some, but
but this is what I remember.
yeah.
Well, it's funny because I have some daughters that want it drained, and some do and some don't. So you're not either way. I mean, tomato. It's there's no right or wrong. You know what I mean? And if they are used to them being drained, then there you go.
Yeah.
But I was thinking like the hot soup. You know what I mean? If
It was 70 degrees.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, we don't need hot
I'm
soup.
trying over here, Autumn. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get that Christmas memory of being a little. No, 70 degrees. We're eating ramen noodle soup and from a gas station. Yeah,
and I was very upset because they were 59 cents a pack.
Oh, I
and
would
I'm
be
like,
too because
they're
what
like
are they?
15 cents a Walmart. Like, why am I? If I get them at Ruler, they're like 10 or 12 or something. You know,
and then here you are,
highway
inflation.
robbery.
Yeah, how come you didn't go for the gas station hot dog?
Because they had no buns.
Oh. Who was in charge? Somebody did not understand the assignment.
Right.
Okay. Someone
that
did
was
not.
my thing. There's like 5 or 6 hot dogs on the roller, but no bun. And I'm like, well, what, do you have a stick? Like, do we have a stick? Do we have, like, how are they supposed to eat them?
So racking up. Well, they should have gave you a discount.
Well, you know what? God love the lady who was working there.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
she
that's
was
right.
just doing her best.
That's exactly right.
And so we were like, it's okay. Like,
that's right. What if you cut the hot dogs up and put them in the soup in your noodles?
That's a lot of processed food. That's a lot of processed food.
Your kiddos, nothing but the best for my family.
So then we did. We went back and they had a hot tub. So, you know, the kids loved the
well, there you go. Then.
They had it was very nice. They had a pool table, a foosball table.
Oh,
a whole bunch
foosball.
Of games.
I love foosball.
Yes, whole bunch of games, cards. They had a fire pit, horseshoes.
Oh.
Like a lot to do.
Yeah.
They did. So we were not bored.
Not at all.
Of course, you know, Christmas Day, we're watching the football game.
Yeah.
And we had to make sure we were back by 4:30 to watch the game. Mm-hmm. And then we made dinner. And then we watched a movie that night.
Oh, I love that.
So
I love
it. was fun. We had a good time.
Well, I love that. And I think that's great to hear and good fun and gives also, you know, ideas for people next year that are thinking of, or, you know, I mean, just playing. It is, I think it's a great time to get away like that. And I think more people are doing that.
Don't plan it last minute, though. Like, let's not do that. That was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Plan in advance.
A little bit of advance planning. Yeah.
So we had a good time.
Well, and a good family time for sure. And everybody under one roof.
Well, yes. Justin and I had like a little, so the cabin.
Did everybody call you out on that?
No.
Okay.
No, and I kind of felt bad. So like we're there.
You know, I would have said, Autumn, something's not fair here.
Yeah,
okay?
so we were in the guest house.
I know.
And the bed, but the bed was not comfortable.
Oh.
And we had squirrels.
Oh, look at you.
We had squirrels.
Oh.
Well, so at like 5 o'clock.
And you paid extra
morning,
for that? For
no.
For that wildlife experience?
They're like scurrying. And so we're like, what? We're like, because, you know, we are in the woods and we're like, I thought it was like a raccoon or something like that. Not a bear. But, you know, like, is there a raccoon on the roof? What is going on?
Right.
Well, then when we had walked over, I saw like squirrels jumping out of the side. Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
Ooh.
So,
and remember Christmas Vacation? Remember the squirrel?
I never watched it.
Oh, of course you didn't. Of course. I should have known that one. Well, there's a squirrel involved. But what's funny is when we didn't go for Christmas, but when we went, I didn't. Okay, I am like so here in Indiana, right?
It's not in Indiana. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't do well. Don't take me when you take me out of my comfort zone. When I'm out of my state, I don't know. So I did not realize. Okay, so we had a cabin in the woods, and it was deep woods. Okay, deep woods. Did not know that. Okay, again, did not say that. So we, you know, we like to walk. So we were walking all around and everything. All of a sudden, come upon a bear. Yes.
Becky, you and your animals.
I know. So I don't know what nature's trying to tell me. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, I don't know how. Okay, when we talked about the shark encounter, I don't know how to deal with these critters.
This is not a deer.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't. It's not a deer. It's not a fox. It's not even a coyote. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to win. Okay, you are going to. Okay, and
you just have to run faster than the person with you.
With you, that's exactly right. Poor Greg.
Just tripping.
Poor Greg.
Okay. Well, they did.
I don't know. I think in a normal race I could win, but I think that if a bear, I think Mr. White would pull ahead. I think.
Well, so the interesting part of that is in this binder, because you know you get there and they have binders that tell you all this stuff.
Yeah.
They actually did have a section for if you encounter a bear.
Yeah. Oh,
so
okay.
I did read this.
Oh, look at you.
I did read it. You are supposed to make yourself bigger. Like, be bigger than the bear.
Okay.
So if you have people with you, and they even put this, if you have a group, the group needs to get together very close.
I love that.
then you are to walk away backwards. Like, do not turn your back on the bear,
Mm.
but make noise, make yourself bigger. Like, basically try to scare this bear off, and then you back away slowly.
So I needed that. Where were you? And what's hilarious is probably somewhere in my cabin, there was a manual like that.
Was.
But of course, I did not.
Well, how long ago? Maybe not.
Well,
Like with the Airbnb and the Verbo, like
Yeah,
that kind of is happening more. They're having these things.
Yeah.
So.
It was a year ago or so. Yeah.
well,
so
then,
yeah,
you
I'm
probably
sure
did.
they had a somebody didn't read their instructions.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I stayed quiet because and believe it,
Right.
which was very difficult for me, right? I want to scream. And he looked at us, and again, I don't know what it was. I don't take it offensive.
Why don't you want to
eat me? Why did you not want to? Why did you not want to come over? But anyway, he looked at me. I think he was actually going somewhere. He was traveling somewhere. He had something on his mind, and it wasn't me. So
well, that's good. That's good.
So yes, I've had a bear encounter, a shark encounter. So yes, I need to stay right here in our double landlocked state where we do not have bear at this time. Although they say that it's coming soon to a
Well, what was it? They had that black bear.
Yeah, they swam across the river and
Yeah.
got here, and they say that there'll be more, and some say that now. I've heard over towards the west of us and in the Pale area that there might be some sightings. I don't know, but never say
We
never.
do have bobcats.
And we have Bigfoot.
I believe in Bigfoot. I do. I mean,
so we have Bigfoot. I mean, come
crazy.
on. And Bigfoot does not care. He doesn't. No, he's all into himself as long.
Well, he's just kind of on his own.
That's exactly.
And he's everywhere. Like I think he's a time traveler.
Yeah,
I do. I think he is a time traveler. I also
I'd
think
not heard that
he is able to transport places.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
That's
From
why
your
he's
woods
seen
to my
so many
woods.
different ways. Yeah.
Every woods in between. So we do have art,
Yeah.
but we just don't. But on those critters, they're not something we know. I know how to deal with.
Yeah.
I'm just not comfortable.
Speak softly, carry a big
Yes.
stick.
Oh, you do know that.
Well, that's not from a movie.
It is from a movie.
No, that is President Roosevelt's quote.
But also they used it in the movie too. So of course. Yes, you're right. You're right.
It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah. I'm gonna hang around me enough and I'm gonna have you quoting movies, okay? Yeah. But anyway, well, I'm happy that you had a wonderful Christmas and good for you. Glad to get you back and everything. And last time we spoke, Dennis was here with us and we talked about some great things. And I think there's some really good information. And I had shared with you, I think off air, that I said at it was actually at a meeting, and it was not from around here. She was from a different area, but she was similar to what you and Dennis did. And she said, it's so sad that people don't know about finances.
Yes.
They do not understand it. And she said, it's amazing how many educated people that actually, go around every day and actually do function on great things and do great things. But that's because it's really taught me a lot learning from you and Dennis.
Well, I'm honestly kind of amazed at how many people are just ho-hum with their finances.
Well, do you mean ho-hum? You mean just comfortable or what do you mean by
just
that?
Indifferent,
Oh.
flippant. If I have money in the bank, great. If I don't, I'll go negative and I'll get paid eventually. But
Yeah.
it's really interesting. And that's one of the things that we kind of like to do is talk with people, go through their budget, talk about their finances. It kind of, the big thing that I run into, people don't know how to write checks anymore.
That's true.
And, so that's kind of interesting. I know we're going to a digital type of, everybody has the card, and now you have, and I love Facebook Pay. I love, I don't have a Venmo but I know, those things that you can send money quickly, PayPal, those are great things. But what you lose is people don't actually sit and balance their checkbooks anymore. So what you lose is you do that instantaneously, and then you forget, because unless you are super intelligent, which I am not, I can't do that math in my head. I can't take my balance and do that math in my head and know what my balance is.
Well, most of us have so many other things in our head that we're concentrating on. I mean,
that's not good at math. I mean, I
but
have
also,
to sit down and
but
do
also,
it.
That's your beat. Your beat is what you do.
Yes.
But see, that's not
Well, I think everybody's feet should be your finances.
Well,
so you
that's
know
true
where you're
too.
at.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I mean,
right.
Because
But
whether you bring home $20,000 a year or $200,000 a year, you're still responsible for what you
that is true.
What you spend.
Very true.
And I'm amazed at how many people still come in and they don't balance their checkbook at all.
Yeah.
They don't even know what a checkbook is.
Checkbook.
I mean, like I have a little composition notebook. I can't even use those small checkbooks. I use like the composition notebook. But yes, there are people they don't have any idea about their finances.
So well, and we've talked about this before, and this is just I think consistency, just putting this out there. It's just like medical. It's just like financial. I mean, these are things that we need to be responsible for. You know what I mean? You can't, and and I saw something, and I'm not trying to. But like Dr. Carty talked about, when you come to see me, have like your questions, have your, like maybe things that we've done in the past, or have your records,
Take responsibility for yourself.
And I think that's because you got to remember that doctors see several people.
Yes.
And I think it would be impossible, to remember everything. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I do that. I have people who will text or call me and, am I still approved? Or, oh, we want to go look at this. And it's like, okay, give me your name.
Well, no.
Please give me your name. Give me, I don't remember.
Well, and you've got so many.
I have to look it back up. Right. I have to refresh myself. And, I'm sorry. I love being personal. But I don't remember.
Well, she's, if not the most personal doctor that you can get. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but she's still human and she gets a lot.
Well, she's got a lot of people, yeah.
And so it's I'm not going to remember by your phone number.
So, and I thought that was a good thing, and I think that's something, I think a lot of times we don't do that. We expect, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think in everything you do, I think even like when you're bill paying, everything you do, you need to have, like notes on it, or, talking, or so that you have.
Well, and that's one of the things. So one of the things I wanted to talk about
today.
I was a little prepared.
I love that. Look at you.
Kinda.
Look at you.
But I am going to go ahead and throw this out here so I can.
Yeah.
Celebrity Home Loans, LLC, our NMLS is 227765, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. We are an equal housing opportunity lender. I need to just have that recorded.
I love that. Yeah, hit that button. I can do that.
But so one of the things I was going to talk about is just your new, I don't do New Year's resolutions. Do you do New Year's resolutions?
Well, we talked about that, and
yesterday you did a little bit. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't.
Okay.
But I do like to set goals.
All right, I love that.
So you have goals, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, I want to lose weight." I always hear that is the big one.
That is the number one. Or get healthier.
I want to get healthier. I want to. Yeah. But you also need healthy finances.
Ooh, I love that. Look at you.
You've got to have healthy finances, especially coming. And I know we have been preaching for the last 2 months of please don't go into debt for Christmas. Please don't go run up your credit cards for Christmas, or overspend, or But people do, and that is that's part of that pool. And it seems like Christmas starts earlier and earlier every year. So, the first thing that really, I know it's hard because people don't balance, they don't check. Sit down and take a true look at your finances, at where you're at. I have a little black book that has all of my username and passwords. I don't know, maybe I'm aging myself, but I have a spreadsheet that has
I love that.
all of my things. Even down to my daughter tumbles, and this is what I spend on tumbling every month, and this is what my utilities and my credit cards and my loans and
groceries,
whatever.
Yeah.
And I have those down there, and I have my balances. Now thankfully, I don't have balances on my credit card, and that's nice. But that hasn't always been the case. Realistically, that has not always been the case. And I have had credit card debt, just like I'm sure everybody has. And so the first thing is just take a true look at where you're at. Look at what you pay out every month. And I even tell people, you do, whether you realize it or not, you do have a bank statement. I do online banking. Again, I love the convenience and the technology. It's very nice. But I think to a certain point, it can hinder us. Because if you do that online e-banking, you're not getting a physical bank statement anymore. And I have had people, I don't know how to go in and get my bank statement. Like when we ask for bank statements, they give us 22 pages of printout transaction history. And it's like, oh, okay, let's just log into your bank account. Like, go ahead, log into your bank account, and I'll show you where to go.
Yeah.
You do have a statement.
Right.
Pull your statement for the last 60 days and go through and see, and maybe go 90 because we do have Christmas. You probably have some expenses you normally don't. But look to see what you actually spend. Where is your money going?
Right.
Like your rent, your car payments, those you should know right off the top of your head. I know this is what my rent is, or my mortgage payment. I know this is what my car loan is. Your utilities probably differ,
Right.
But take a real picture of what you spend every month. You'll probably be surprised at how much you spend eating out.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, like, keep that in mind because and it does take time. Like, this is not something that you're going to do in 10 minutes.
Right.
But if you really want healthy finances for 2022.
I love this, Autumn. This is great.
Well,
good information.
We've had a rough couple years. So, it is a new year. It's fine to start new. Like, let everything else go. Just because you did in the past doesn't mean that you have to do it now. Like, It's fine. Take your new start. Take the 2 or 3 hours, carve it out because really you're investing in you. And are you not worth 2 or 3 hours of your own time?
Look at you. This is good.
One day I might have a podcast.
I think so. This is wonderful.
But do that and look at it and see where you're at. And take, we talk about this and we preach this, but take responsibility for yourself. Because ultimately you're the one in control. That is your choice. Whether you have good control or bad control, you are still in control of where your money goes. It is not anybody else's fault.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's not your brother's fault. It's not your mom's fault. It's not the government's fault. You are responsible for where your money goes.
Yeah.
And that's the first step. And then if you do have, Justin and I kind of, and yes, student loans suck bad. Like if you have student loans, thankfully they have different repayment options that you can do that do fit in your budget. But I feel like we have a generation that's a disservice of student loans. But start small. Like that's a Dave Ramsey principle. I know we've had her on here. Start small. Find your smallest balance. Start hammering away. When that card's paid off, take that payment and snowball it to your next one. Once that's paid off, snowball it. And it takes time. Like it's not overnight. Don't think you're going to get everything in line overnight. It does take months.
Sure.
But look at how far you've come. Like you got to keep your eye on the prize. And that's the hard part because it gets exhausting sometimes. And a lot of times people are like, oh, well, that means I can't go do anything fun. Well, no, that's not what that means. And this is what, I tell people. No, it doesn't mean that you can't go to the movies if you like the movies or just maybe don't go every week. Make it a treat. That's my 2 cents. That's my 2 cents.
Well, I think it's great. And I think that's good. And I think sometimes, we actually talked to a professional. He talked about like New Year's resolutions. And so many times we put too much, you make it too much.
Yes.
Like to do the blanket statement, I'm going to get my finances in order. Okay.
Right.
Let's say that, or I'm going to lose weight. I mean, let's say, or I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to get this. I'm going to do something. Okay.
Yeah.
But instead, he said, look at it as little steps. And baby steps, you know what I mean? And also like set realistic goals, like, and then reward yourself when you do.
Right.
Like when you know what I mean? And also, like make it just like one thing. Like don't put so many things in there. Like don't have
change my life and my
Well,
finances
I
and my
remember-
shoe size.
I remember like years ago, like people would have like 5 or 6 different New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
And I think we kind of come to that conclusion where we realize, let's not do that. You know what I mean? And that's not nice to do to yourself. And this is also, we talked about this too. And this is really good. If someone didn't hear this, Brad and I talked about this. Okay. Brad wanted to eat healthier. I hope he's okay me telling him about it, but he did. And he didn't, like January the 1st, like he wasn't ready. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you can't say just because it's January 1st, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? It was March when he said, I'm going to do this. And that's when he was ready. and he stuck with it. You see what I'm saying?
And I think if you do that and you give yourself some grace, like, okay, if I messed up this week or this day,
Yeah.
it doesn't, I've seen people who are like, oh, well, never mind, whole thing's wasted.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you still have 360 days.
Yeah,
like,
get back on the horse, right? Yeah.
The year is long.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
right.
I think that is important. So if he didn't start till March, that's, hey,
yeah.
you started.
But and he had to be ready.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing.
Sometimes it's more mental than anything.
Well, exactly. Just, just saying, I'm not, I'm not ready. And in March, I'm ready, and I'm ready to start this, and I'm going to commit to it. And he did.
Right.
And I think on finances and stuff, I love the idea, because sometimes, I always talk about can't eat the whole elephant all at once. And okay, so you see this big elephant, you see your big,
right.
You see this bank account or whatever's going on with it, and all this stuff going on with it. You can't. It's overwhelming. And what do you want to do? You want to just, I don't want to look at it. I don't want to be a part of it.
That's how I feel about all the stuff that I have. Like even when you go to declutter or you clean or it's kind of the same thing. I'm overwhelmed.
Right.
I don't even want to do it because I don't know where to start.
Right. Well, and that's good advice. What you just said was start with the little ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Start taking those out, and then start going for the bigger ones. And therefore you will get it. You will get the elephant eaten. It just one bite at a time.
Well, you got to think you're not going to do it all in one day.
Well, it didn't happen. It didn't occur in one day.
Right. And I think that's, again, a disservice that we have in this generation of, we're a microwave generation. I want it now.
Oh, instant.
I have Instapots and AirPots and, microwaves. And, now I don't even have to wait in line for my coffee. I can just do my own latte at home with the push of a button.
Yeah.
And, I think to a degree, we have forgotten how to be patient.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I work with the kids on, or I try, I never tell my kids they deserve something. And this is something Justin and I have talked about. And this actually, he came up with this and I just jumped on board.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you don't deserve anything. You earn it.
Love that.
And we have forgotten how to earn things. And so if you do get to the point where, okay, I have lost 12 pounds, I earned whatever that reward is.
Mm-hmm.
My kids, even bad, even if they do, I don't want to say bad, because life,
they're kids. Yeah.
They're kids. But even if they come home with a grade that is less than what they are used to,
mm-hmm.
you don't get to blame your teacher. You don't get to blame anything. You earned that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like good or bad, you earn it, because I think it does put that responsibility back on them.
Right. Sure.
You did this. This
right.
is the consequences of your actions, good or bad.
Right.
And I think, one of the things I've really been trying to get with them on, consequences are not always bad. And they kind of have that negative, that negative thought behind them of, oh, well, there are consequences for your actions. Mm-hmm. And it's used in a negative tone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like, well, that's not always negative. If you study hard and you get an A, that's a consequence of your action.
Mm-hmm.
If you are disciplined and you take I spend $5-6 minimum every time I go through a drive-through,
mm-hmm.
or every time I sit at a restaurant. And normally it's closer, even just for me, it's closer to 10 or 15
mm-hmm.
just
mm-hmm.
for me.
Sure.
If I take my family out, we're looking at $100
mm-hmm.
minimum.
Right. I've had $6. I know. Absolutely.
So you think, okay, I'm eating out 5 days a week.
We ate at home a lot. Yeah.
That's even just for me. Even if I do the minimum of $10
mm-hmm.
a week, mm-hmm. that's $50 just on lunch, Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I only cut that out to 1 day a week,
right,
then I've saved $40. That's a consequence of my action.
Mm-hmm.
I've saved that I can put
right
on my credit card, or I can put on a loan, or I can put in a savings for an emergency fund. Mm-hmm. Or you can travel, or you can, I saw something, and actually I really love this. It said, it's not that you can't afford to travel. It's that you'd rather eat instead of travel. Pack your lunch, save your money.
Oh my gosh. Well,
and I was like, you know what? That's very true though. because we are so about convenience.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things, and not against fast food. I've done, at all. So this is not
right. And thank God. I mean, sometimes,
yes, it has been
lifesavers for me. Yeah. Lifesavers.
But I'll sit in a drive-through sometimes up to 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, everybody's shorthanded. Again, they're doing their best.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, in 25 minutes, I really could have thrown something together at home for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's really not saving the time that I think we've been programmed that it is saving.
Right. Yeah.
So that's kind of
that's really good. That's very good. And
it's just a mindset.
Yeah. And if that is something that for whatever reason you want to do, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Everybody has, different,
right.
I mean, if that's something that's important to you, if that's something important to you and something that you feel good doing, then by all means, but put it in your budget.
And account for it. And be realistic for it. Like, I think that's my big thing. Be realistic and take responsibility. Like, don't be a victim. I tell my kids, and I have to tell myself sometimes, because it's easy to get in that. You are not a victim. You are powerful.
I love that.
Don't tell me, I have to go through the drive-thru because there's nothing else. You can throw toast in the toaster and put a little bit of turkey on it and have a nice club.
Yeah,
there you go. May not be the club that you get from Nice's.
Sounds good.
But you can do that. Like, you're not a victim. You're not helpless. You can do that. And I think the other part, as far as having healthy finances, is have a goal. Set a goal. Yeah. What is your goal?
Yeah.
Realistically, if you are in $50,000, $60,000 in debt, you're not going to get out of debt in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make that your goal.
Right.
You can have a goal. Let's be more specific. I want to decrease my debt by 10% this year. Or I want to decrease my debt by 15%. Have a goal. Be realistic. And then, yes, you're not going to get anywhere without sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
But sacrifice is not bad.
Put skin in the game.
Because really, again, you have to earn it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, you don't deserve to be a millionaire. You don't deserve to be a size 6. You don't deserve anything in life.
Yeah.
It's not going to be handed to you. That's not realistic. Earn it.
Yeah.
That's that's a hard thing.
And hard work pays off, you know what I mean? And the more you put into anything, the more you're going to get out of it. So it only makes sense,
Yeah.
The more you study for that exam, and the more time that you put to that exam, of course you're going to do better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that it all makes sense. And I think those are good reminders and good, especially for the new year, Autumn. I think, like, starting the new year off and reminding everybody that this is something to look at, your finances, and see where everything goes. Because a lot of times people say, I don't know where the money goes.
You know how many times I've heard that?
I bet.
I get paid and then it's gone.
Easy come, easy go.
Let's pull that. And that's realistic. And on the flip side of that, you only know what you know.
Yeah. Ooh, that's Dr. Seuss.
Well, I don't know. It's in a movie because
Dr. Seuss.
But
of course.
You can only know what you know. So if you don't know, then you can't do better.
That's right.
And so there is never an excuse for not learning.
Ooh, that is Seuss.
And
you're coming in strong over there.
Really, you only know what you know, but you are responsible for what you learn.
Yeah.
Again, you are responsible for you. Mm-hmm. So come on in. Let's sit down. Let's go through those banks. I'll show you how to pull them off.
Right.
The people, I never ran into a bank that won't help you print them off. Mm-hmm. They may charge you.
Yeah. For
a convenience. But, usually if you say, hey, I bank online, I don't know how to do this, they'll show you.
Mm-hmm.
Print them off, go through it.
Right.
1 year, the year I sat down, and this is embarrassing, and we did not have 3 kids at this time. But the 1 year I sat down and I went through 12 months of bank statements. And I flagged every fast food restaurant, every convenience store that was not gas, because my husband loves Speedway.
He likes a big
Speedway,
big
Casey's, and
likes
Circle
that,
K.
He likes that chow ice, doesn't he? In the drink.
He gets beef jerky, I think. I don't know what he does.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but I need Stock and Speedway, Circle K, and Casey's.
But those good fountain drinks with the chow ice. Sorry, no.
Yes, I do love a good fountain drink.
It's a good chow. The
I
good.
don't need ice.
The ice. Oh,
but
okay.
the little. I know people love like the little ball ice.
Yes. Okay.
So I sat down and I went through every fast food, every convenience store. And in a 12-month time, we were over $17,000.
No way.
And we did not have 3 kids.
Oh.
I think we only had 1 at the time. Ooh. And that for me.
And baby was not. Your baby was not stopping at the convenience store. This is just you two.
Yes.
Doing this.
And so, really, for me, that was so eye-opening because it's like we are spending. I mean, that was a lot.
Sure. Well, yeah.
Of money that it's like. I might as well just hold it out the window and let it go. Because what do I have to show for it?
Right.
And even if, okay, instead of $17,000 this year, we're going to cut that in half. And you're going to eat Lunchables and,
yeah.
Or even make enough, there's nothing wrong with even taking leftovers for lunch or something.
I'm a leftover queen over here.
But again, you only know what you know. But until I sat down and actually saw that number in black and white.
That was like in your face.
It was oh my gosh, I could have been in Spain for a month.
Look what I could have done with this. Yeah. Yeah.
And so that really was the turning point.
Spain or beef jerky,
I will never not be angry at how expensive beef jerky is.
It is, but it is good.
It is.
I'm a big beef jerky fan too, but yeah, it is ridiculous.
It may be other things for other people, but not that I want to say, oh, go find your money, but find where your money's going.
I like that, yeah.
Because, and the other thing that I've seen a lot
okay, we got to know the end of the story. They all lived happily ever after. Did you change?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that was we still stop.
No, I'm not saying,
but it's not, because it would almost be mindlessly. It's just in my routine. I grab something on my way.
Right, and we don't think about it, right.
And even like a big one, lattes. Like I used to, and I like my lattes, don't get me wrong, but $5-6 every time.
Yeah.
And now it's a treat. Like now it's a
reward or something.
Because you know what? I have a Keurig and I can throw some flavored creamer in that.
Oh.
And it's fine. So you do have to sometimes adapt, and you'll find, like now, even when I do a latte, it's like, hey, don't give me your 3 pumps of syrup. Knock it down to 1. It's too sweet. It's, but you can adapt and you can make substitutions.
You take a little bit off, do I get a discount if I only get 1 pump? It's just
just give me.
Mama's trying to save money over
here. Let me just go back there and do it myself. But
then you really save money. Yeah.
But you don't think about those things because it's $5 here, $5 there,
and it adds up.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, it does. So that's the thing. Be responsible. Know where your money goes.
Good words of advice.
And being in denial never solves anything. Like that's kind of a big thing. Being in denial never solves anything.
Right.
And sometimes you have to have that in your face of, hey, here I am.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, no wonder I can't pay my rent. I'm spending over $1,000 a month on the convenience store. Like, that's my house payment. That's my, or my rent or whatever it is that you need. That's $1,000 snowballing on my debt. So just be responsible.
Right. And I think those are good words of wisdom. And I think definitely very apropos. We're going to be leaving, our old year, going into the new year. And these are just some good, you need those good positives. You need those, ready. Let's go ahead and hit the ground running. Let's get at this. Let's start looking at this, and then kind of work on a game plan. This is what we're going to do.
And I think it needs to be revisited quarterly because your life changes.
Absolutely.
And that has been, if I have seen any other reason for people being bogged down with debt, it is because your life circumstance has changed, but your lifestyle has not. And so when you are used to living a certain way, and then let's say your income lowers, or a partner no longer works, or something has happened, or
you have babies,
or you have or you have a child and now you're staying at home. if you don't make adjustments in your lifestyle, then you put it on credit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you don't adjust. And I've had people who have come in and, hey, I don't know how we got here. Well, you never adjusted for your lifestyle. You never adapted to a one income family, or you never, and that you don't know how.
Right.
And that's hard. It's hard to,
Sure.
I saw something on the flip side of that. Don't go into debt just because your lifestyle improves. Like if you do get a raise, or you get, okay, maybe somebody's graduated college and now your partner has a good paying job.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bump your lifestyle up.
Right.
Stay where you're at in your comfort zone until you have those cushions.
Mm-hmm.
Because we see that too. People get a job and now they're making $60,000 a year, and the first thing they do is go buy a $45,000 vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, yeah, you can afford it,
mm-hmm.
but at what cost?
Right.
Like, yeah, you can afford it, but you're running yourself dry every month, and now you're living paycheck to paycheck.
Sure.
And we have a lot of people that come in making good money, $150,000, $200,000 a year.
Oh wow.
Living paycheck to paycheck.
Mm.
And it's because I have it, I can spend it thing that, again, you never sat down and said, well, this is what I have. These are my goals.
Right.
And when you sit down your goals, when you can set them down and say, this is what I want, it's easier to save. It's easier to bypass the drive-through. It's easier to
mm-hmm.
to do those things and to stay disciplined. Same thing with any goal. If you have a vision and a purpose and a goal, it's easier to say no to the things that aren't as important to you.
Exactly. And breaking habits. Sometimes it's just a habit.
Yeah.
This is the way, we do, and it's changing those habits and making them different habits.
Yeah, because again, we do it mindlessly.
Uh-huh.
This is and I think there's something to be said for be cautious of your actions.
Yeah.
No, be in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, have you ever driven home and then been like, how did I get here? Like, I don't even remember the drive.
Maybe actually, yeah.
When you just run the stoplight because, but
not us, Autumn, not us.
I've never done that.
Yeah,
but
you've heard of people doing
that. Yeah, not me. Never me.
Did we not just talk about accountability? Accountability is just so good.
And I think that's the point too. Mm-hmm. Be aware of what you're doing.
Exactly.
Sometimes you mindlessly eat. That's another prime example. You have I love some spicy Doritos. I do like a good spicy nacho Doritos.
Doritos are just like gold.
But again, that's a mindless thing. If I have the bag before I know it, the entire bag's gone. It's like, who ate all this?
Who did this? Who ate all this? Who all this? That's what I am with my peanut M&Ms. Yeah. Who did all this? Yeah.
Who did this? And then I'm blaming the kids and I'm blaming the dog and
the dog.
Yeah, the dog ate it.
But and you bring up a good point between Christmas and New Year's. I've seen so many people and heard so many people say that this week is just completely eating. You know what I mean? Just completely we have all of our leftovers. We have all of our sweets that are there. Like I finished. Yesterday was Wednesday. Tuesday, I finished the last sweet. I don't
even know what day it is between Christmas.
I know. This is Thursday. I have to think. Yeah, so I think Tuesday was the last. I ate the last dessert, and and I won't be buying more right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And well.
Yeah, I say that too. And
can let me strike
Oreos
you
still end up in my.
Oh, did you see that where they have that? It's like you put your Oreos on this thing, and it has. It's a little container and it's got for your milk. You put your milk in there and then you can
dunk it.
Yeah, and it's Oreo. It's
too much trouble.
Oh,
just put a fork in the cream and dip it.
Yeah, you can't go.
I don't even do that.
Oreos and milk. I just
can't. I just lick it off my fingers.
Oh, so good. But anyway, but this week is like a week that there's a lot of. Christmas candy left over. There's a lot of, and stuff like that everybody's kind of like,
oh, it's here. It's the holidays. And we use that as an excuse.
Boy, do we. Yeah.
We use it as an excuse.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And again, there is a place for moderation.
Moderation is very difficult.
And this is in anything in life.
Mm-hmm.
There is a place for that. And I'm not saying, if you want an Oreo, hey, have a couple Oreos. You know, pull out 3 or 4 cookies and then put it away. Don't do 3 or 4 sleeps.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's
I love that. Yeah.
there is a place for that. And then if you know, hey, I'm going to eat 3 or 4, then there's no guilt. Again, set a goal and stick with it.
Yeah.
And savor it.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, my kids inhale them.
Well, sure.
And then it's like, there's no reason, no wonder how do you even know you like it?
Yeah.
It bypassed your palate.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
Savor it. And I know that sounds silly, but sit and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, and then, but now, and let's go back, since we're talking this, going back to the art of years ago. Okay. And a lot of times, I believe, I've never been to Italy, but I believe this is what I've heard, and I've heard in France even they do this too, that people like make they work hard on the meal,
right?
They make a big meal, and then they sit
4 hours
and fellowship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We are cramming it in, right? Are we not?
Oh, I get so frustrated when I will cook a meal and it takes me, and I don't make elaborate meals. But if I'm in the kitchen for 30,
you're very
45
modest,
minutes.
Yeah, you cook. Yes, you do. Yeah.
You know, 30, 45 minutes, and then we sit down, and we do make a point. And my kids don't always like it, and it's not every night, but at least 3 or 4 nights a week, unless it's sports season. We do sit, and we and we eat, and we talk, and we're at the table for at least 30, 35 minutes minimum. Mm-hmm. But my kids are done eating in 15. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then it's, can I get up? No, we're talking, sit down. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, but it's so frustrating. I spent all this time in the kitchen and you're done in 15 minutes.
I know.
And you didn't even appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sit back down. You're eating another helping. Like, I'm getting you more.
Yeah, exactly. But we do that. And that's, and that's just the way. Again, we go back to the instant stuff and fast and stuff, but sitting down and, that was something that, that I've always been big on, is having supper together and trying, to that fellowship.
It's so important.
I do too. And we, encourage people to do that more often and that fellowship and just finding out about
free.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's free entertainment.
Yeah.
Unless
finding out what someone's day is. Yeah. Well, you get to know your family, you'll like them probably. Yeah. But sharing about each other's day and breaking bread, having that fellowship together, and that's gold.
And you miss it. Like, I sit here and I think Max is 11. I'm over halfway done.
Yeah.
With him.
Yeah.
Well, not, but like he's.
Well, he'll probably move on. I mean, he'll probably.
I hope he's not living in my basement at 30. So, my youngest next month will be 6.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, and this is something I always say, and I did not come up with it. It's not my own, but the days are long, but the years are so short.
Love that.
And like, that is something I really, in the midst of the kids screaming and fighting, and Justin is a master. I don't know how men do this. He's like, I just tune it out. Mm-hmm. He's like, you get all worked up, I just tune it out. And I'm like, how do you tune it out? Like, I hear it. I can't just tune it out.
That's
like,
so funny. Yeah.
But even in the midst of all of that, because they fight their siblings.
Oh,
you had 6 girls. I can't imagine 6 girls fighting, but
Yeah. Can you imagine? Yeah, I was say somebody had somebody's hairbrush or something, or somebody didn't give their makeup back. Oh yeah.
But it's always, like, you know what?
This guy was always falling.
The years are so short.
Oh,
and then
absolutely.
You look back and you're like, where did it go? Mm-hmm. Like, and that's, even back on your finances, but even on that, if you do buckle down, what's a year of sacrifice? Mm-hmm. Because a year goes by so fast.
Right.
What is a year or 2 of intense sacrifice and intense discipline to get you to where you want to be? Exactly.
And what's the worst case scenario?
Right.
Is it you save some money, you tried a different plan, and that's something that, so Autumn, let's say they listen today and they go ahead and they try this. The worst case scenario is that you've saved some money. You know what you've got in the bank. You know your finances, and you've understood them a little bit more.
Where your spending habits are.
There you go. You know yourself. So when we talk about self-healing, self-finding, and all that, you'll find yourself.
Well, I'll tell you what. You sit down.
It might be scary.
Your heart. What is it that your heart is where your money is? Sit down and see where your heart is, because it's going to be where your money goes. Mm-hmm. And that,
can be, yeah,
It can
might
be a little
yeah,
tricky.
yeah. So be careful what you wish for, or be careful what you find out. But going
But
in,
no,
yeah, it's
you have
important.
to know.
Yeah, it is, and it's so important, Autumn. It is so true, and just and these are good words of advice, and I think that it's something that because we care and because we
Yeah.
want. I mean, I love when people are doing well.
I
You know
love
what I
when
mean?
people are successful, and there's no reason you can't be
And I
successful.
love that. Yes. And we have a lot of great people that are successful in our community and around
Yeah.
communities, surrounding communities. And I want that. I think, and I know you do too.
I love-
and I think that's great.
I love to see people succeed. Like I love seeing you succeed. I love hearing your stories. I love, I love getting excited with you.
Yeah. Me
And
too.
it's small. It's celebrate. I mean, like we said, celebrate the small things. Celebrate those small victories
Absolutely.
that, because that's what keeps you going, and keep your eyes, like I have thought about doing this. I haven't yet, but I know there are a lot of people who do vision boards.
Yeah, I've heard of that before. Yeah.
You do. I mean, like I guess one of like the trifold science fair boards, or even just a piece of poster board, and you put all the things that you want to accomplish on there.
Well, I've seen them. The ones I've seen too is they put them on the refrigerator. Like,
okay.
They'll take like a magnet and put them on the refrigerator, and like things that they.
Someplace you see it every day.
Yeah.
And that reminds you of your goals. And again, when you have a clear set goal, it's easier to say no to things that aren't as important.
Very good. Keep your eyes on the prize.
Yeah.
Focus. Yeah. Very good. And then, of course, if I do want to say, because boy, time goes by so fast, Autumn. We just talked about that. But honestly, also too, if they've got something in the goal of that they're wanting to possibly purchase a home coming up. I know we're going to segue into this, but it is true. And that goal, that you can reach that, and we want that. If you want that, we have talked before, and this is, I know our time is going to be short here. We've talked about, some people are renters, rent. Some people are buyers. But either way, whatever works best for you.
You're paying a mortgage regardless.
Yes.
I mean, unless you're, and there are some people who are staying at home, but you're paying somebody's mortgage even if you're renting.
Yeah. So if you do choose to own, and I think a lot of times people don't realize that they can do that. It is doable. And that's what we want to make sure that they know that.
Yeah. And even if you think, like I have had customers that have come in and said, hey, I'm not ready to buy yet. My plan is in a year or two. Great. I would love to talk to you a year or two before you're ready to buy, so that we can make sure your finances are in the right place.
Yeah.
So that when you come to me in a year, I don't tell you no.
Right. And you want you want the most that you can get. I mean, like you want to be able to to have those loans paid off so that you can,
Well, and two, you want a realistic goal of what you can afford.
Yeah.
And what, on the flip side of that, I have people that can afford a lot more. They don't want to be house poor. I mean,
no, and
I love that. Know where your budget is.
Yeah.
I will never push somebody to go up to their maximum because I don't want your house back. I'm responsible for 10 years.
I am not cleaning another house.
I don't want it back.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't
One
want
is
to
enough.
see it.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
I want to see you be there forever.
Yeah.
Or at
Absolutely.
least, my favorite, I'll end with this because I know time is running short, but my favorite is I have a customer, and I did his first house. And then we refinanced when he got married, and now we just closed on a new house because they've had a baby. And it's like, I love that. I love seeing your life progress and you doing well in life. And like, I get so excited for you.
Sure.
And it's not I love being through that with you.
Absolutely.
It's great.
Well, and that's helping, and that's a great service that you provide, and what a blessing for our community. And I know you have not watched Wonderful Life, which you and I are going to have a time together.
I gotta wait Christmas is over. Now I gotta wait till next
year. No. We can watch this any time of year. But it talks about that George Bailey, he provides and helps people with housing, and he has that wonderful happiness that he can do that. You know what I mean?
Oh, maybe I do need to watch it.
You do need to watch that. Yeah. And that is something that I think would be very rewarding in that. You know what I mean? When you're dealing with that. So you need to watch that. Yeah.
Especially as you have the people that are there for a long haul. Like, I love Generation.
Yeah.
And
and you have a lot of like parents who will tell their children to come to you.
I've had at least over the last couple of years, I've had at least 2 or 3 that have come in.
Isn't that awesome? I mean,
And
really,
It's
that's
like, hey, my dad said I couldn't use anybody else. And then I have one. I had a realtor call me and say, hey, I need a letter on so and so, and I'm like, I don't know who you're talking about. And they said, well, they said that he told me you're his lender. And I'm like, I don't know. And about 10 minutes later, I had somebody walk in my door with his mom. I recognized his mom. And she's like, he wants to make an offer. And I was like, yeah, I just got a phone call on you. But it was like,
phone's ringing right now for you.
I know. I love that. I love that.
People are wanting to talk to you right now. Yeah.
But I do. I love that. And that there is no greater honor to me than if somebody entrusts me with their children.
Yeah. Well, and
that is.
Oh, absolutely.
That is the biggest compliment ever.
Absolutely. And it should be. Very good. Yeah, absolutely. Well, today is, I didn't get to do this. Today's the 30th day of December. We're getting to the end. This is also Bacon Day. We just talked about bacon.
I love bacon. It's its own cookery.
I know. Falling Needles Family Fest Day. And that would be the Christmas trees that are left up. They're falling needles. And it's a fest day. Everyone celebrate.
So,
celebrate.
Where are these falling?
I don't know, but I'm not, let me tell you, when I'm sweeping those up,
I'm not
there's not celebrating going on, okay? But I guess you're supposed to, with a joyful spirit. Listen, festival. Okay, this is a mouthful. Festival of enormous changes at the last minute.
Okay, wait.
Festival
of enormous changes
at the last minute.
Somebody created a day on my life.
I love that. Yes, I know. I have to be totally on the fly, ready. Do you feel that way too?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's, yes, absolutely. Let's see here. Those are the get out and celebrate. We're on to the
That's it, only 3 today.
Yeah, short but sweet.
Well, because bacon really, you can't overshadow bacon.
I know. I'm just thinking, you can put, we actually, our family talked about this. You could wrap anything in bacon and eat it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because an avocado, was it that? Or, it wasn't avocado, a date, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. They wrapped it in bacon. It was delicious. It just, yeah.
See, and so in my family, bacon stands alone.
Oh, absolutely.
Like my dad is very big on bacon, does not need anything, just give me bacon.
Giddy up. No, I love that. The only thing is, when you're making bacon, this is my only thing, is that everybody comes by and gets, like, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't make it to the table.
No, I know. And that was what, especially when all 6 were at home, they'd each come running through and grab a piece or two. Well, then by the time you put it on the table,
there's not much.
Where's my bacon? Although I've been here cooking it for hours, because I had to make so many,
Yeah.
There was a lot of bacon, because it takes a lot of bacon.
Yeah. It does.
And bacon is not cheap. No.
So, the best way to buy bacon. Now, we don't have it here, but the best way to buy bacon is to go to like a buffet, get it to go, and just load your thing up with bacon.
Yeah.
So, like if you're in Clarksville, just go to the Golden Corral at breakfast, get a buffet to go, and just get bacon.
Well, there you go.
Because really, what is it, like $6.99? So, I mean, it might even be $11.99 a person.
Yeah.
But could you imagine how much bacon you can fit in a to-go container?
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Look at you.
And then I don't have the grease and the splatter.
That's a win. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Which, yes, the grease part really bugs me. Yeah. Because it's just,
I understand.
Although I have been, and I learned this actually from Meadowview Healthcare, because they bake it. They put it in the oven. Yeah, which is really good, because then you can make a lot, that way. Yeah.
And that's how I do it. I do bake it now.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Justin has the Blackstone griddle.
Oh.
If he will do it outside, that's great. Because I do love bacon, but then your whole house smells like
that's
it.
That's what I'm
afterwards.
saying. Yeah, I know. It smells great, but it's still, that for some reason, that greasy, smell just gets locked in.
So if he can cook it outside, it's big. He can do a lot of. And then it's, because when he gets that out, I'm like, just cook it and I'll refrigerate it. But it never lasts.
Start another Rockin' Bubba, day without him, brother. Rockin' Bubba.
6 minutes after the top of the hour, you listen to Cook's Pest Control, Best of Rick and Bubba Show. We've been playing a lot of bits from the past. I'm going to play one off the new CD. CDs are available. I'm not sure if the new one's on iTunes yet. I should know that, but I don't. So I was just going to make it up, but I'm not sure. But it will. If it's not, it will be soon. But all the others that you hear, some are, if they've been featured on the Best of CDs, they are available on iTunes. So we're going to check off. This is off the brand new Herd Immunity, and that's Herd spelled H-E-A-R-D, by the way. Get it? This one's called Speedy the Mac. Check it out. The Best of Rick and Bubba.
Have you ever seen the couple wheelbarrow races, like through obstacle courses and stuff? That's like a legit deal.
I know. Is that one of the sports?
Yeah, no, but it's
that's
just
not World Games.
It's not World Games. It's just when I saw that, it's like straight up
Do
competition.
you remember the time that you did Adler? Like,
Yes.
with the
Yes,
the women would hang.
that's
over
what
their shoulders?
that's the competition.
And you and Adler did it in here. You remember
Yes,
that?
yeah.
Yes, Greg. I forgot about
Carpool
that.
one.
Yeah.
And I think Speedy wanted to forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah. I mean, I got to go. I appreciate his dedication to the show.
You regret that day more, Richard Simmons.
Well, Richard Simmons forced himself on me.
Well, so did Adler.
You were violated.
Adler, I just did. I mean, I did the bit.
If you just joined
I
us,
did the carry.
just stop talking.
Yes.
Just move on.
Sometimes,
Take a knee and let the clock run.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how sometimes you just need to pull the car over. You know what I mean?
Well,
Got to
we're talking about-
regroup. Got to
we're talking about-
regroup. Let traffic pass and try to drive again.
We're talking
Yeah.
No,
Try to bring ease back in. Right. Honestly, I think on the Richard Simmons thing, if we were in a different, like in today's culture, you should like file some kind of report. Yeah.
Can I tell you, it's funny you mentioned that over the holidays.
Art just said Happy Pride.
we were pulling up some YouTube clips. I'm trying to move on. We pulled up some YouTube clips, and the one when he was on Whose Line Is It Anyway? Oh my gosh, it was something.
He's a funny
You
man.
talk about discomfort.
Oh yeah,
funny guy.
Yeah.
I've never seen that staff laugh so hard.
No. Didn't he pass?
No.
They thought he kind of was out of the public eye for a
Is he
while.
like straight up?
Well,
Here
at
you
one
go
point
again.
they thought he'd
He's
been
alive.
kidnapped or something.
Remember I thought he passed away. No, he just went in
But you
seclusion.
hadn't seen him in a couple months. Doesn't mean that.
He was locked up somewhere during the pandemic playing dealer mill.
He went Dilla Mill.
Yeah.
Hang it. That's good. I think he's sweating to the Dilla Mill's actually that big one over Dodge you go over.
Do you know how many VCR copies I have of some of his?
People keep saying
Yeah, and they just all bring them in. They just lined up in my office.
them and big boys. What a day.
Yeah.
What
It's about to
I
happen.
always
right
have to.
there.
I always have to explain this picture.
If
Speedy
you look
looks
at that
Speedy.
picture, it looks like Speedy is the aggressor here.
does.
No,
He's
y'all are,
hugging Gene.
he loves
Or
Barbara
Richard.
Streisand, and y'all are
His friends call him Gene.
y'all.
Speedy, I think that's an invite right there to lick your eye.
It is.
Buddy, no, that's
You
just,
don't do that.
You're
Hey,
putting your eye right there
That's
in
just-
the licking
that's
zone.
me consoling
if
someone.
you don't do that, you're I tell you what, that gives a whole new view of Sweat to the 80s. Right
Yeah. I think I didn't get licked there.
there. You look like the aggressor.
That's an important note.
He looks
No.
like the aggressor.
Well, no, he was playing Barbara Streisand, and he has a crush on her. He said,
So you felt
and he was making him sad, and I was like, it's okay, buddy. And apparently,
that
that's
eye
not
licks
that
on
shot.
you, buddy.
Mhm.
You opened the door.
close.
Let's move on.
You did. Well, it's one of those things you let him
We
into
got
and then complained about. Yeah. You know? He
I
thought,
didn't
well,
dislike that.
there's some things you could have done.
So if you like, it's okay, man. That
That was not an okay
tongue to the
man.
eye.
That was not
Now,
okay
look,
man. I know no means no, but did he get a clear no from you?
Look at that picture. You
I
tell
didn't,
me,
I didn't have time to get.
Speedy,
look at that
the
picture.
time.
Pull the picture back up, Adler.
Here
Tell
we
me,
go.
does that picture say no?
It doesn't. It looked like a couple.
Most of the time when you're saying okay, man, it's okay, man, you're not hugging them. It's just you're about 6 feet away.
Or you would
it's
have
all
a
right, man.
side hug.
Kind of it's all right, man. You don't even go that far with it, Greg.
That's fucking when the
serious.
show's
Maybe-
over.
Maybe you and me
Look
or
at
Speedy
you.
and you because we're closer, but
Let me tell you this. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and give you this.
even he's surprised.
A man wearing that outfit, I'm definitely not consoled.
Yeah.
Just say it.
He actually,
you should
if I
see
could,
shorts. I know.
You
that's
should
my
see
point.
the
Can I
shorts.
tell you
And
this? The
It made our 7th grade PE shorts look long.
All right,
wow.
so I got to just be honest with something though. He's a fun person, and his segments on this show were hilarious, and he was full of energy.
Wasn't that enough?
And so I think we got to put it all in context here. I mean, I didn't just go up there and start hugging on him. And
I'll say this.
I mean, he was full of energy. Everything was happening. We were
Speedy,
hopping
let me-
around. You're playing Barbara. He's
Yeah.
about to
One
cry.
thing
And I'm
leads
like,
to another.
before you know it, I got tongue in the eye.
Here's the thing. We've been covering that man for a long time. Okay, he's in the news. We've had news story after news story about Richard Simmons. We've had only one where he licked someone's eye.
Well, that we know about.
Because that's
a lot
a
of people
story.
might not talk about
That's a
that
story.
He tried to catch David Letterman on Thanksgiving, and he got after him with a fire extinguisher.
You know,
Maybe you should
Y'all
have
should just sit back.
Maybe
and
you
watch
should have
it.
got the fire
Have you
extinguisher.
kind of noticed though? Honestly, have you noticed though? There's this trend that is unspoken that we've seen. I know where you're going. Yeah.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I mean, the magnet.
You mean a magnet?
Magnet.
Yeah.
On what?
Well, just for something.
On tongue?
No, I didn't say that.
Certain.
No, I didn't say that at all.
That's it. Scripture.
Well, I didn't know where he's going with
No, don't.
I do.
You just say anything. You want me to just say it?
No, Greg, do not.
You looking at me and saying, "I'll say this one here."
I know.
He's over here. He couldn't be happier.
Well, he's just so thankful that I brought something up. He's like, you know what?
Oh, yeah.
Now that I think,
Greg, you should have been there.
What do you mean?
I'm glad
I've seen it
Hold on,
live.
can we go? You should have been. Were you here for the others? No, I never got to meet Mr. Simmons in person. No, I'm just talking about were you here?
Oh, you
for
would have.
the
Oh, I know.
trend? Yeah,
I got to tell you
the
that y'all
trend,
both
yeah.
would have. Y'all have been there just
like a
have
bug
to go.
light.
I know. Yeah, exactly. It's,
What are y'all talking
A
about?
bug light on a dark
all right,
night.
you're a flame. Here's them off. And there's only a certain moth. Nice choice of analogy. Yeah, there's only a certain moth.
Huh?
It ain't a moth yet.
There he goes. There he goes. Well, you started.
That's on me. Now, what's the laugh for the back vacation?
Yeah.
The golden ticket seats here. We're all looking at you.
And let's look at it. Normally, Bubba has my bag.
Let's look at it this way, guys. Honestly, just straight up, love what we do, hope we continue to do it. But we've made it.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody thought we were still gonna be here about now. Greg, you come out gravy. Yeah, it's like what my mom. We were talking about this. She goes, your dad and I are 80. I mean, we made it. I mean, we hope to stick around, but I mean, there comes a point where you go,
So do we.
you have exceeded everything.
How about when you just can't get it out? You have to change
I had two
direction.
thoughts. I do that all the time. I had two thoughts and they intersected. But
So
I got up at 1:30 this morning.
Next time y'all are on vacation, I'm going to play some of his moments on the show. And
Nobody said
the
what,
energy in y'all's voice,
Nobody said
it was
that.
just all hopping.
Nobody said
And
that.
before I knew it had happened,
Nobody
and I
said
don't even know if everybody saw it.
Don't you have a drop from me?
Speedy, when you keep saying it like that, it sounds worse.
But no, I'm just saying, think about standing next to somebody and all of a sudden that happens. I mean,
Yeah,
No,
that's the whole
and I think at
point.
the time,
It doesn't.
and I think at the time he was sitting on like one of my knees.
Oh,
like
so
right
this-
here.
you're making
I
it
think
even
we're
worse. Making a point that doesn't happen to anybody but you.
Yeah, that's the whole key
Live
to
like
this.
you were dying. Hey, it's Richard Simmons, and I'm squeezing my country buns with Rick and Bubba.
If you'll remember, there was a run there where we were having him on quite a bit.